July summer weather, but comfy. Meteorologist Adam Bell in for Mike tonight, outside enjoying it. Adam.
Well, Donna, it's not a time to spend inside with such beautiful conditions, and even though I was stuck in the office all day, at least I got to spend some time outside with beautiful weather out here, already still in the 60s. Even at 10 o'clock at night, the mild temperatures look like they're going to continue for the next several days as well. We still are going to cool down a little bit as we go into the evening hours tonight, so plan for that. Another chilly morning tomorrow morning, but we're looking at warmer weather continuing all the way through your Friday, and then we're just going to have a little bit of a cool down for the weekend, but really no complaints overall across the area. So much warmer weather, more details coming up in just a few minutes. Donna?
I'll join you in just a few minutes. Thank you, Adam. More than three.
There's a beautiful shot of the moon as we're live outside here, outside the Bozeman studios. Another beautiful several days on its way. So we're going to stick around. I'll have all the details in my 7-day forecast. You're going to want to see those warm temperatures. But before we head to break, we'll take a look at some of the sounds and sights from the Emerson Cultural Center's Lunch on the Lawn that takes place all the way through August 25th.
So in Health Watch, we're talking about buddy walking next, so I thought I'd buddy walk out here with you.
Yeah, it's nice to see you live out here. It's such a nice evening. It's so much warmer than it has been for the last couple nights, but we did set a record low in Bozeman this morning, and more cooler weather is on its way. A look at that and much more in your Storm Tracker forecast in just a few minutes.
Your accurate forecast from Adam Bell starts now with Storm Tracker weather on Montana's news station.
I'm back out live outside here, outside of our studios in the Bozeman area. Just a beautiful evening on its way. Temperatures are in the 60s right now, so a very mild evening is on its way. But as we move on to our weather graphics here, you can see for yourself that not much to talk about as we look at the satellite and radar composite. In fact, we're looking pretty quiet. Just a few clouds up along the high line, and that's associated with the jet stream taking a little bit of a dip across northern part of Montana, and that's one of the reasons why we've seen some cooler temperatures over the past couple of days. Right now, though, Bozeman, 65 degrees with those clear skies. In fact, let's take a live look at our iCam and see what it looks like. You can still see the light along the horizon. It's beautiful to see that light, but there is some bad news. We're actually losing a couple minutes of daylight every day, both sides of the divide, as we get closer and closer to winter. So the summer solstice is gone, but we're not losing that much yet. So still plenty of light even at 10 o'clock at night. Just a beautiful shot of downtown Butte this evening, and temperatures over there also looking pretty good as well. Back to the numbers as we take a look at Mining City, 64 degrees. So very mild conditions in the last hour. So very warm weather still now, but it's going to cool down as we have those clear skies over the short term. As we look at the satellite and radar composite, you can see that jet stream with that northerly flow across the northern part of Montana. That's one of the reasons we've seen the cooler temperatures over the last 48 hours. We went from 80s and 90s earlier this week to 70s and near 80, but we are going to go back in those 80s and 90s before the week is over. The jet stream steering all of those clouds and storms over the Pacific well to our north, so we're avoiding all of the clouds and all of the storms and just enjoying some beautifully sunny skies, much more summer-like weather across Montana. One thing that the warm weather has done is caused a couple of fires. We've already heard about the fire up toward just to our north, the North Fork fire, but in Idaho, there's also a fire going on. There's some video for you to look at. 109,000 acres have been burning. That's 170 square miles, so quite a large area that has been burning, and the fire at last report was about 10 to 20% contained, so it has blown up over the last several days, and they believe this was a lightning strike fire as well. But very strong winds and some of the smoke, since we are going to be in that southwesterly flow, could go back into our area. But going back to the weather graphic, you can see that we are looking at improving conditions as we move through the next couple of days. We're still looking at that northwesterly flow at least for today and even into tomorrow before we start seeing a pattern change move on in across the Pacific Northwest. Here's what your futurecast looks like. You can see that northwesterly flow bringing the clouds into northern Montana. That low pressure system is actually what brought the cooler weather in earlier this week, but as I put this into motion for you, you can see that the high pressure sitting off the Pacific coastline is eventually going to move a little further toward the east, and as it does so, we're going to start seeing improving conditions across the area, and we're going to start seeing the warmer weather make its way on into our area. In fact, it looks like the timing right now has the high pressure slowly moving in by Friday afternoon. I think that's going to be the warmest day of the week. We're going to start to see a strong southwesterly flow, 80s and 90s likely across the area as we start seeing very warm conditions, plenty of sunshine, and that southwesterly flow. So the combination of those three things is going to lead some very hot conditions. And if you don't have any outdoor weekend plans, you still have a couple days to do it. I would highly recommend it. Anything you want to do, I think it's going to be picture perfect weather for it. Whether it's fly fishing or floating on the river or just throwing a bucket of water on your friends, I think it's going to be a great chance to enjoy some summer-like conditions here in southwest Montana. Across the region tonight, clear skies across the northern part of the Intermountain West. As you move toward the Midwest, maybe a few lingering clouds thanks to that low pressure system sitting across there. 80s and 90s across most of the region tomorrow, 87 in Missoula, 85 even in Great Falls. And as we get a little closer to home across southwestern Montana, it could be another cool night tonight as we're looking at temperatures dropping back down into the 40s for our overnight lows. So a cool evening. Wisdom is the place to avoid. Definitely carry the jacket tomorrow morning. 32 degrees. That is more typical of September, not July, for our overnight lows. As we go to the highs tomorrow, 70s and 80s, so we're starting that warming trend. Once again, the warmest is going to be probably on Friday afternoon as we hit those 80s and 90s. 40s for tonight in the Bozeman area, back into the 80s tomorrow, pushing near 90 degrees. And a quick look at the next 7 days has pushing near 90 degrees, even in the mining city. Nowhere near the record high, though, but then we cool down just a little bit, though, still into the 70s all the way through next week. And in the Bozeman area, also looking pretty nice as we push near 90 degrees into the low 90s on Friday. Cooler weather returning, though, still no complaints as we go live back outside here. A beautiful evening on its way. So get out and enjoy this beautiful southwestern Montana weather as much as you can, because who knows how long this summer will last here in Montana. We're going to take a short break and be back with Health Watch. Christian going to join us?
Crew out there setting up to enjoy some of the night, and Adam Bell with one more check on the forecast. Adam, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, we have actually a beautiful next several days expected across southwest Montana, so get out and enjoy it. And apparently these guys are already having fun on their own. So, you know, Shane is also wearing shorts. Congratulations, by the way.
It's the weather, man.
It is the weather, and it's, you know, so beautiful even this late at night. So we have some beautiful conditions across the region, and these guys are just having way too much fun. So I think that's all time we have for this beautiful evening, but hopefully you have a great Wednesday night, and we'll see you back here at Montana this morning, 6 a.m. I'll be live, and these guys will be back tomorrow night at 5:30.